Hello and welcome to the December 18th edition of the Gold Goats and Gun Short News. My name is Tom Luongo. We have a lot to talk about, and today I want to talk about Donald Trump folding on the wall. And this just hit the news wire not, I don't know, half an hour ago. So we were looking at a government shutdown over Donald Trump's signature campaign promise, the wall. Now, any of you who've been following me for 2.5 years now, you know that I think the wall is silly. And I think the wall is ultimately a symptom of a deeper problem. And that deeper problem is the welfare state and the warfare state, both of which destabilize the world and then invites the world. Invade the world, invite the world, create chaos, and sow dissension. It's all part of the ridiculous political panoply of pervasive putridness. I don't know. I'm just making this shit up as I go at this point. So what I found really interesting is that not, 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, Trump showed some real spunk. He showed some real spark for the first time in months when he invited Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic leaders in the Senate and the House, to the White House and ambushed them with cameras and a live video feed to discuss the wall. It devolved into your typical bickering amongst old useless boomers, but it highlighted for a moment that we thought maybe, just maybe, Donald Trump wouldn't roll over on one issue that was important, that he wouldn't appease, that he would shut the government down and he would be okay with it because the people would back him on it, because the people wanted the wall. You don't threaten like that in politics and then back down. You just don't. And they know it at this point. Okay? They know it. Schumer was like, he was not going to engage Trump because he knew damn well that Trump was going to fold when the rubber met the road. So, at the end of the day, I don't agree with the wall, but Trump staked this presidency on it. And now he's reneged on that too. He's already reneged completely on foreign policy. If you want to improve the immigration situation in the United States, you do so by reforming the judiciary. You do it by cutting spending, and you do so in a bipartisan way. You get rid of both welfare and warfare. You go after the defense spending and let the Democrats reveal themselves as just as big a bunch of quislings for the friggin' military-industrial complex as the fucking Republicans are. That's what you do. That's what you do. But Trump won't do that because Trump just so desperate for a couple of points of GDP that he'll take any amount of defense spending. You see yesterday that he's talked the Japanese into refitting their ridiculous platform, cruisers or battleship platforms into aircraft carriers to house short vertical takeoff and landing F-35Bs. Well, this is going to be, I'm surprised he's not out there going, see, this is great, this is fantastic. I was like, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, is the Japanese parliament, are they just an extension of the Lockheed Martin boardroom? This is what we're dealing with. You have to go, if you're going to try and win these battles, you have to have a plan. Trump has no plan. Zero plan. He didn't have a plan for dealing with the shutdown. He's looking at the inversions in the yield curve. He's looking at a falling stock market. He's looking at begging the Fed not to raise interest rates tomorrow. And he just looks like a loser. He just looks like a paper tiger. He looks like a fake WWE wrestler. And even those guys are better actors than Donald Trump is. And it's sad. It really is sad. I didn't want to get to this state, but look at what's going on. He's ultimately bowed to the political reality that he doesn't have the votes in the House or the Senate, and he doesn't have the support of the markets or anybody else. They're going to hang him with the bad economy in 2019 and 2020. That's what the Fed is setting up for. He knows that the Fed is raising interest rates onto the verge of a global slowdown. The Fed's doing it on purpose. He doesn't want a strong dollar policy, but then he wants to put financial pressure on Iran and Russia and everybody else. Well, good news for you, dude. That's the best weapon you got. It's far better than anything coming out of Lockheed Martin or Raytheon or General Dynamics. Not that I'm advocating that he use these weapons. Just saying, strategically, tactically. Fed's doing your bidding, Don, and you're complaining about it. But the Fed's going to raise interest rates tomorrow because in no way, manner, shape, or form even if they do want to slow down or stop raising interest rates, they're not going to do so tomorrow. They are not going to bow to the political pressure put on them by a president. They'll do so in March. Tomorrow's rate hike's going to happen. If it doesn't, I'll be shocked if it doesn't happen. But if Trump truly wants to control the border, if he truly wants to make America great in any way at this point, then he has to start cutting spending. He needs to cut the military budget by $100 billion. He needs to remind them who's in charge and not sit there and listen to and roll over when Mattis and Dunford and the rest of them say, oh no, we need to stay in Afghanistan. We need to stay in Syria indefinitely. He knows who these people are speaking to, who they speak for. He's got himself trapped on the verge of unveiling his great plan, peace plan for the Middle East, which is already DOA, because it's based on the Saudis, and he's had to go along with the Saudis, who have been revealed to everyone now, their cover completely blown. Like, if you can't, this guy's not going to win re-election. He's not even gonna run for re-election at this rate, the rate that he's shrinking. He may stand 6'4", but as far as I'm concerned right now, the guy's a 3'2" midget. Politically, he don't look like he's winning. Trying to figure out when it's going to get good. I just think it's really funny that he was going to charge full steam ahead into a government shutdown and then blame Schumer for it. Guy doesn't have the chops, man. Not at all. Not at all. And to you lefties out there who actually listen to this, open borders are not compatible with a welfare and warfare state. They're not. Those things need to go first. Then we can start talking about what it is that we're going to do relative to the border. The wall is not a solution. The wall is a symptom. The last thing we need is a big scar running across the continent. All because of ruinous globalist neoliberal policies in Washington, which Donald Trump is powerless to stop. This has been the Gold, Ghosts, and Guns short news for Tuesday, December 18th. If you like what you heard today, please give a like and subscribe down below. That'd be great. You can follow my work on Patreon at Patreon/Gold, Goats, and Guns, and me on Twitter at TFL1728. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon, and keep your stick on the ice.